But who knows? I mean, coming down to it with only seconds separating everyone, maybe they would. They'd be sprinting. There's time bonuses up. I bet it's on.
Yeah.
No one's going to give up the tour if they're only seconds apart tomorrow. God, I hope that ain't the case.
Why don't you guys switch, actually?
Yeah.
Oh, no. You were right.
They would.
Hi, and welcome back to the Tour de France. We're here at the start of Stage 19, the individual time trial, and a lot on the line here today. We got 3 guys within 30 seconds, and I don't know, what do you think? What's going to happen?
Absolutely. I think you still have a fantastic show, and we only have 2 days left of the tour to go. Today's going to be the day. We'll see what happens with GC. I would think, taking an educated guess on what we've seen before, Floyd should be able to wrap this thing up today. Maybe Sastriere, maybe can pop in the second. We don't know. They're so close to each other. Anything's possible for the second and third podium spot. And realistically, I would say all the way up to Cadel for fourth and fifth right now could possibly get a podium too. So we got still GC to figure out. Tomorrow, normally, this is a little parade going in to the Champs-Élysées, and then the real racing starts. But if there's only a few seconds separating first and second, I can't imagine people are willing to have a parade if there's time bonuses available and all that to try to win the tour. So most of the time, parade. But man, if it's some few seconds apart, you got to believe they're going to be racing tomorrow too.
Okay. Yesterday, pretty standard stage, breakaway goes away. Any highlights out there that you saw that that maybe the rest of the public missed?
No, I think all the highlights were probably just right there in the break. I don't think there was too much highlights happening back in the field other than just Sonia Duval doing a chase that just wasn't going to be able to bring something back on their own. I think they were hoping more for, okay, we'll keep it close and maybe one of the sprinter teams will come to the front. But there's not too many sprinter teams left, and I know our team in general we're not interested in having it come down to a sprint on yesterday's stage anyways when we already have the green jersey wrapped up.
Okay. Let's talk about that green jersey a little bit. You got that wrapped up, you came here, you got what you wanted there. Cadel's probably, at best, maybe gets onto the podium second or third.
Yeah.
Do you think if this team had been built strictly around Cadel, that his final result might have been different?
No, I don't think so. He's had a fantastic Tour de France. I mean, he's sitting fifth right now on GC, but he's had all the help that a person that's sitting fifth on GC needs.
Okay.
Would it be, you look at Alpe d'Huez or something, if you had maybe one guy with him that could pace him up there, maybe he can save a few seconds or something. It could possibly make the difference if he had a better GC team around him to go a podium, I would say. But to win it, I don't think to win it he had to form this year with the way Floyd was riding. He's riding fantastic, and you really need the team around. You need a solid team of GC riders around you when you're going for the win. When you're sitting fifth, you just need guys that can go back, keep you out of the wind. On the mountain stages, basically keep you out of the wind when you're strung out through the valleys, go back, get bottles for you, and that's all you really need. If you were to flat or something like that, okay, maybe tomorrow if we're coming in and we're fully racing and he was to flat, you might need a whole team to get you back on. So that strategy could go wrong for us because we don't have a team built around a GC guy. So we could have a problem if he flatted at the wrong time. But so far the story, he's never had a problem like that. So everything he's done, he's had a fantastic ride, and the riders around him, Christophe and myself have been around him. He's always had a rider around him starting all the way up to the last climb, and from the last climb you're kind of on your own there. Yeah. So you only if you're going to win the tour like Lance, where you're going to put someone on the front and drive it up the last climb to disintegrate everyone, do you need a full GC team around you.
Okay. You said he maybe didn't have quite the form this year. What's he need to do differently to win the tour if he is in fact somebody who can win this race?
Well, he just needs to be a half percentage better is all it is. I mean, he's right there. We're talking 3 minutes. Yeah. 3 minutes ain't much.
Sure.
Now, granted, Floyd had a bad day, but that's pretty known. So Cadel's had bad days too. He had a bad day in the Alps, not a bad day, but one that he salvaged that could have turned into a bad day up Alpe d'Huez. And then even on Jeu de Plan, he wasn't 100% there because Floyd put everyone in the red on the first climb. So everyone was trying to recover from that. Right. So that day was a little off too. But in general, right now with the way Floyd was riding, if you would have taken the one bad day that he had, he would be minutes ahead of everyone right now. And so I don't think there's anyone in this tour that could have done anything different at this point to win it, except for Floyd, because he still might not. But my money's on him today.
Well, Well, with that, we'll let you go. I know it's time to go warm up, and that'll conclude the second to last installment of the Chris Horner Diary. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow, and good luck today.
Absolutely, thanks.
All right, thanks.
A little bit of cycling.
Yeah, still got a race today. How's your tour going?
Nice, Good.
You like that? Did you like the day? Wasn't it?
What a pity just in the last climb that he couldn't hold. I think it was right that he went with Marot and so on.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Hi, we're back at the Tour de France with Quickstep team director Patrick Lefevre. Patrick, yesterday a really big day for your team. Finally, kind of a hard first couple of weeks, but you break through with a stage win yesterday.
We were so used to win that we were forgetting what it was to lose. So, but we had 5 days the yellow jersey with Tom, and then afterwards the stage victory with Matteo Tossato, and I'm a satisfied man.
Yeah. You talked about Tom being in the yellow jersey, but no stage wins. Was that a disappointment or a surprise?
Well, we came to win a stage at least with him and to try to get the green jersey, but unfortunately for us and for him, it wasn't going well in the beginning. Every time a little detail who was deciding about losing or winning, and he became a little bit sick and went home, and that was it.
Yeah. Is it hard for him? He's so the Spring Classics are such a big focus. Last year, also the big focus on the World Championships in Madrid. Then you throw in the Tour de France in the middle of the season. A lot on Tom's shoulders.
Yeah, he's so used to win, and he's a winner. He wants to win. So he was pissed off if he was losing the sprint against Robbie McEwen or other guys. But he has only 25 years, so he will learn about it. How to prepare him next year, maybe in a better way.
Okay. What with him leaving the race a little bit earlier, does that change the rest of his season at all? Like, what's on Tom's program as we head into the sort of the last third of the season?
No, he will try to recover a few days with his family, and then he will doing 3 criteriums in Belgium, and then the time trial in Bulle with Sébastien Rosseler, and then he stops competition for 2 weeks, and he starts again in the Eneco Tour, the 16th of August, and then he will prepare the Worlds.
Okay, no Vuelta a España then?
No Vuelta a España this time, maybe the Tour, I've quite for sure, actually the Tour of Britain.
Okay, fair enough. I really appreciate the time. Congratulations on the stage win yesterday. Hi, and welcome back to the Tour de France. We're here at the start of stage 19, that's individual time trial. And right now we're joined by David Zimberoff, the marketing director for SRAM. And David, I want you to just tell us a little bit about what you're doing over here, because it's a pretty interesting project you've undertaken.
Well, as you know, we just introduced a couple high-end SRAM road groupos. And so we're at the Tour looking for pro Tour teams to sponsor so that next year we can be in the Tour de France.
Okay. With that, I know you can't name any teams yet, but things are going fairly well, yeah?
Things are going really, really well. We just signed our first team that we can't talk about.
Okay.
And we are in discussion with other teams. So we're really excited.
Okay. Take me through the process a little bit. It probably starts back, maybe even in the winter, letting people test your product, a lot of talking. Just kind of walk us through the process of, start to finish getting a team on your new group.
Sure. It started probably about 2 years ago when we first started developing the product. When we had early prototypes, we went out to teams at races and started early discussions. So started at the team level, seeding product with teams. As we evolved the product in a greater, more refined state, we gave teams more refined versions of the Grupo, allowed them to test. And then at milestones along the way, whether it be the Tour or Philly, a major race along the way, we would follow up with how they're doing. We'd send engineers and product managers out to races or out to just ride test. And then as soon as we had an acceptable product, we started negotiations by saying, hey, we're very interested in being a part of your team. What would it take to get to the next level?
Okay. Well, what does it take to get to the next level? What are they asking for?
It takes a lot. It takes a little bit of money and a lot of product.
Okay.
Upwards, many of these Pro Tour teams have 30 plus riders. Each of the riders has anywhere from 5 to 8 bikes, so they require 150 to 200 group sets and a little bit of cash.
Yeah, I don't suppose you could tell us how much cash.
I can't.
Fair enough. What are the biggest hurdles you face? Is it simply just convincing other people that your product is as good as the two mainstays in this field, Shimano and Campagnolo?
Yeah, probably the biggest hurdle has been overcoming the status quo. Shimano and Campi make great product. They've made it for a very long time. They are in a market that's very mature, and they've always been there. We're the newcomer to the block in road components, so we had to prove ourselves from a product side, from a performance side, and then from a relationship side. We first had to prove that we had the product that could make it. One good benefit for us was we've had proven success in the mountain bike world with EXO and the recent acquisition of RockShox and proven suspension technology. Just the ability to make high-end performance products has really helped us.
Okay.
We also had to prove that in the racing environment it could meet the demands of racing, so we sponsored a couple continental level teams with the Kodak Gallery and Team Orbea teams, and so we've been racing with them professionally for almost a year now, and that has allowed us or given us a little bit of credibility in the community.
Okay, fair enough. When are we going to find out who this team or maybe teams are?
Hopefully by Interbike, possibly later. We just have to allow those sponsorship commitments to end, which is the end of the season. So you guys will be the first to know, though.
Okay. Well, we congratulate you on getting into the Pro Tour, and we look forward to getting more information along the way.
Thank you.
And with that, we'll wrap it up.
Thank you.
All right. That's all for now from the Tour de France.
Pour les photos, c'est pas tout.